Sir, can you hear me, sir? Singh, sir. Dr. B.N. Patnaik, sir, Principal, sir, Upari College. Dr. B.N. Patnaik, sir. Sir, can you hear me, sir? B.N. Patnaik, sir. Can you hear me, sir? Dr. Abdul Jalil, the librarian, Upari College.
Bender.
Commissioner?
Yes, I can hear you.
Sir. B.N. Patnaik, sir. Yes, sir. Principal, sir, Upari College. Sir, can you hear me, sir? Dr. B.N. Patnaik, sir. স্যার আপনার সাউন্ড তো শোনা না স্যার আপনি ইয়ারফোন তো স্যার ডিসকানেক্ট করে দিও স্যার স্যার আপনার সাউন্ড তো শোনা নাই আপনি ল্যাপটপৰ পৰা ইয়ারফোন তো স্যার ডিসকানেক্ট কৰি দিও একচুয়ালি স্যার আপনার শুনিব পৰা নাই স্যার আমি আপনার ইয়ারফোন তো স্যার আপনি ডিসকানেক্ট কৰি দিওক আৰু যদি ইয়ারফোন ডিসকানেক্ট কৰাৰ পিছতে প্ৰবলেমটো সলভ নহয় তেতিয়া আপনি ৰিজয়েন কৰি দিওক স্যার মিটিংটো আচ্ছা লিভ কৰি পেলাই এবাৰ জয়েন কৰি দিওক
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে Am I audible now? But I can't hear you anything.
Yes, yes,
After
sir. Now
disconnection of the earphone.
Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
What should I do now?
Sir, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Then
but
it's
very
okay,
low
sir.
voice without the earphone.
Okay, okay, sir. If you can hear me properly, sir, then it's okay, sir. Without earphone also.
Better I leave and rejoin once again.
Okay, okay, sir. That will be better, sir. Professor Sanjay Kumar Singh, sir. Sir, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Principal, sir, Boy College, Dr. B.N. Patnaik, sir. So now I think you can hear me, sir. Principal, sir, Boy College, Dr. B.N. Patnaik, sir. Sir, please unmute yourself.
Yes, Virendra?
Yes, sir. You can hear me, sir, now?
Yes, properly.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Now I think almost we are coming to the starting of the program, and then just give me 30 seconds. Principal, sir, Dr. Hirna Kumar Salia, sir. Sir, can we start, sir, now?
We can start.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Very good morning to everybody. I am Dr. Virendra Pal, the librarian of Plagiarism College. Welcomes you all in this very important and very lively discussion and very important topic, that is online invited talk on plagiarism and publication ethics, do's and don't, jointly organized by the Central Library of two colleges, that is Plagiarism College and Rubohi College. Today, among us, we have Professor Sanjay Kumar Singh, sir, the head of the Department of Library and Information Science from Guwahati University, who needs no introduction in this field. So before this, before starting the program, there is an important announcement for the participants that a feedback link will be shared just before 10 minutes of the completion of the program in the Zoom chat box. So try to fill up this feedback form. And also this program is live on the YouTube also. So I welcome all the viewers right now who are listening to us in the YouTube live. And we start this program with the famous proverbs of William Ralph Inge, who said this: what is originality? It's undetected plagiarism. So without wasting much time, first of all, I'd like to invite the Honorable Principal Sir of Plagiarism College, Dr. Hirna Kumar Salia, sir, to give his introductory address. Sir, sir, please.
Thank you, Virender, and good morning to everyone who are now available in online platform. I welcome Dr. Prof. Sanjay Kumar Singh, Professor and Head of the Department of Library and Information Science. Actually, it is a very important topic, and why we did my PhD at that time, there is no concept of plagiarism and etc. But nowadays it's a very popular and very important and necessary topic in research and publication. In administrative capacity also, we have faced some problem with this. As administrator also, we face some problem. And recently, nearly 1,000 college teachers, they joined as very young teachers, and most of them, they are engaged in active research. Apart from teaching, they are also engaged in active research. And our some senior faculty members of different parts of Assam or serving in different colleges, they are also work as supervisor, academic research supervisor. So this topic is very much important for college teachers faculty. And I am very happy that participants from Kerala, Meghalaya, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, West Bengal, and UP, they have requested to participate, and already more than 100 participants registered their name. And request came from a lot of 8 states of, apart from Assam, 8 states of Assam, states of India. And I have a recent experience in this field. One of my fellow colleagues, she wrote a research paper along with a student and published in a journal. And eventually I upload it I shared it in different media, WhatsApp group. Then one remark from Italy, is a known person to me and very brilliant academician and researcher, Manjil Saikia from, he did his PhD from Tezpur University in mathematics, very brilliant career. So he wrote that this publication is not very, journal is not authentic journal, and please do not encourage such publication your young faculty members to publish in this type of journal. So I was very, earlier I had no conception of that journal. Anyway, so this is very actually necessary things for our principals also. And we have some another experience when we have to take interviews in the different colleges or in my college. Some candidates, they appear with some research paper, and some we steadily in the interview board we get online research. Then we some that is experts. They are not. They said that this is not proper journal and we should not mark it. So that is eventually happen in a lot of colleges, and even we are facing some court cases also, because in some colleges these papers are weighted and given marks. As you know, this time there are a few marks in research publication. So in some colleges they are giving marks, but in other colleges they are not giving marks. The other interview board, they do not give mark for that purpose. So the candidates are they are thinking that they are deprived and they go to the court. So this is happening in this time. In recent time also, we have a lot of appointments to be happen in colleges or some. So it is very important. And one thing I feel as a senior person, that some research scholar, they do not know where to publish. They do not know the origin of the publication. They have no intention to go for wrong publication, but they have no idea. But they do not show how to take the help of how to choose a research paper. So some trapping is always there. Some network is always there. They are giving a lot of that your research paper will publish in our journal. So give us some money. Even we have discussed here that 20,000 up to 20,000 they research publication, they demand money for publication. So eventually, as there is mark, so teachers, they have to go, they enter into the trap. So they publish in a wrong journal. So it is, as a senior person, it is our duty that in future we should not encourage such our young research scholars and research faculty members to publish that type of journal. I'm not talking about the PhD, that is a new concept, that is a PhD, that is thesis. This is another topic. This is widely discussed. So we have our well-wisher and always being good, our supporter of our college, Professor Sanjay Kumar Singh. He's along with us. He's always with us. And we think also in future he will be with us. And he's a proper person. So to guide in this matter. So a few days back, Dr. Barinder is a very young and energetic, you know. I can recollect remember that Professor Singh was told me in the interview that it is a very young and dynamic person you are getting as a librarian. So he approached me to organize such a talk. So we marched for, and Professor, I am very, very grateful to Sanjay Kumar Singh. He instantly said okay to us. And this is, we have done it as a collaborative program, co-program, joint program, because Dr. Patnaik from Principal Rupohi College is my good friend and neighbor also. So we have some, we think that they will do some collaborative program for our mutual understanding and cooperation. So I welcome, and the interest shown by different people, research scholar, even Guwahati University, one professor, today morning he rang me and told me that my research scholar will join your program. So I immediately so this type of interest actually it verifies our topic, the weight of our topic. So thank you. I welcome you again to this talk. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Your words are really important to us, which will definitely motivate us to work further in this field. And again, now we are moving to the next part of this program, and I will invite the Honorable Principal Sir of Rupohi College, Dr. B.N. Patnaik, sir, who was very kind to us. So without wasting much time, sir, we'd like to hear you as an introductory address, sir. Over to Dr. B.N. Patnaik, sir. Sir, please unmute yourself. Sir, just unmute yourself, Principal Sir, Rupohi College. Sure, thank you, sir.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. At the outset, let me offer my heartfelt best wishes to our joint collaborator, Dr. Hiranyakumar Solia, my neighbor and friend. And he has been instrumental in making so many collaborative works in the recent past, and we are looking forward to some more in the coming future. So it's a pleasure on my part to co-host such a invited talk online that will directly benefit the faculties of our college, our post colleges, and also some other interested persons from different parts of the country. It's quite encouraging to hear that so many scholars and participants have come from so many different places of India. It will naturally enthuse us to do some more work on this field. So I welcome Dr. Sanjay Kumar Singh, Professor, Guwahati University, is the head of the Department of Library and Informative Science. Is also very close to us, to our college, through Dr. Abdul Jalil, has been his fond scholar. And so far I have come across the people of Guwahati University. To my presumption, he is the one of the finest gentlemen so far I have come across. So as kindest person I have seen, and also an authority in this particular field. I remember last June 2020, we had also hosted another webinar on e-resources, and he has been kind enough to be the resource person there. So we are well familiar with his scholarly personality, and the two librarians, they are both very young, energetic, Dr. Abdul Jalil of our college and Dr. Virendra Pal from Kolyabo College. We are thankful to them for organizing such a beautiful talk on a very essential topic which haunts many young scholars and old as well. As Dr. Cholia has rightly put, that in our times it was not the case. We say he was older as a principal than me, so perhaps in his time there were no publications required at all. But in my time, in 2012, there were just a requirement of publications, but through ISSN and ISBN was enough to suffice. But nowadays, there are so many things. They have crop up like Scopus, many other things, which like cloning journal, care list, UGC care list journals. So all these things have now come up, and they have, on one hand, help to reach a particular standard of quality of publication, but on the other, it also confuses and traps many young aspirants. There is also no denying the fact that people are tempted to pay and publish. That is the part and parcel of our life. But there are also some innocents who are trapped into this particular business. They do not know where to go. So today we are not discussing how to write a research paper. We are now dwelling upon where to publish it and whom to choose. So that is more important nowadays. So because things are getting difficult for career advancement for the teachers, as well as for getting a good score from NAAC also on the part of the institution. So if a paper is published in a right way, with right impact factor, with a peer-reviewed journal, with Scopus, then not only the individual benefits, but it also helps the institution to benefit. So it becomes a bounden duty on the part of the institution as well as the individual to go for such a work, to go for things we should take care. And that is why perhaps it has been defined in the do's and don'ts of ethical publication. So we must also consider the ethical side of it, where to publish and how to publish. Without bribing, we should go for publication. So this is a very pertinent issue, and I'm hopeful that Dr. Sanjay Kumar Singh, because he has the audacity, he will definitely address the problem and bring us some beautiful aspects of how to approach such a horrendous task in our hand. So thank you. Once again, I welcome all the participants who have made this particular talk worth doing and who have been our inspiration from different fields they have now gathered. So I am thankful to them, and thank you both the librarians. Thank you all and welcome. Hearty welcome to one and all. Over to Virendra.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. B.N. Patnaik, sir, the Honorable Principal, sir, of Rupai College. Really, sir, your words are very important and really will be needing your support. And both the colleges has initiated the collaborative approach, and this is one of the example which is cannot be possible without the cooperation of both the principals, sir. So thank you again and again. And now we are moving to the main part of this program, that is the talk, online invited talk. And before this, I'd like to inform to all the participants that, respected participants, if you have any questions, please write in the chat box, or also you can ask the questions directly at the end, just before 10 minutes of the program. So before inviting Professor Sanjay Kumar Singh, sir, I would like to briefly introduce him with a short paragraph. Professor Sanjay Kumar Singh, sir, is presently the professor and head in the Department of Library and Information Science, Guwahati University. He is associated with Noble Job of Teaching since July 1997 in Guwahati University. Before associated as a teacher, he was also a librarian for a couple of years in the Institute of Neurological Science. Professor Singh is also the librarian of K.K. Hendick Library of Guwahati University since 28th February 2020. He is a nodal officer of UGC Swayam MOOCs of Guwahati University since 2020. He was associated with Guwahati Study Center of IGNOU for 20 years in different capacities. Professor Singh is a life member. Professor Singh is a life member of several professional organizations like ISLIC, ITLIS, ILA, ALA, GLA, SLA, etc. He was the Assistant General Secretary and Vice President of Guwahati Library Association for 2 terms and the Office Secretary of Assam Library Association for 1 term. He was also the Joint Secretary of GUTA, that is Guwahati University Teachers Association, for 3 terms, Vice President for 1 term, and Treasurer for 1 term. He was the court member of Guwahati University Court and Executive Council member of Guwahati University for a short term period in 2018-19. He is also the Academic Council member of Guwahati University and associated with various examinations conducted by Guwahati University and other agencies from Assam and the parts of the country. At present, Dr. Singh is the Vice President of ISLIC from Northeast Region and the Vice President of Assam Library Association and Alumni Association of Library Information Science, Guwahati University. He was the Regional Sole Coordinator for Northeastern Region of the InfluentNet for 7 years. He is a resource person and orientation program for the different courses conducted by the HRDC Center in Northeast India. Dr. Singh has published many research papers to his credit. He has been guiding different research scholars to his credit. And lastly, beside academic activities, the last year he was actively involved with the webinars of the Assam College Librarians Association, and he has lots of laurels in his name which cannot be described within this short paragraph. So without wasting much time, I would like to invite Professor Sanjay Kumar Singh, sir, for his kind presentation, sir. Sir, please, over to you.
So good morning and namaskar to all of you. This is the right topic chosen by both the college, that is Kaliawar College and Rupahi College, on the topic Plagiarism and Publication Ethics, Do's and Don't Do's, which is organized by the Central Library of both the colleges. So Honorable Principal Sir of Kaliabar College, Dr. Hiranya Kumar Salia. Honorable Principal Sir of Rupohi College, Dr. B.N. Patnaik. Librarian of both the college, Dr. Birinder Pal of Kaliabar College and Dr. Abdul Jalil of Rupohi College. All the faculties of both the colleges, staffs of both the colleges, research scholars, other participants from different parts of the countries, and participants who are witnessing this program in the YouTube channel. And this is the time where all of us are facing a common problem throughout the country, that is pandemic. This is the second consecutive year we are facing this problem, and we have to follow the protocols. So the message, which is, all of you know it very well, related to this protocol, is that you have to use mask regularly. Nowadays it is said that double mask is safe. Then you have to maintain a safe distance from each other, and then stay safe during this, especially this pandemics. So it is a time which is very crucial for us, and this particularly we are thankful to this pandemic era that we are familiar with this terminology webinar, and we are meeting each other through this the digital environment by the help of the ICT, and I am in this part of the system, we are on that part of the system, but virtually and digitally we are meeting each other. So this is a gift by this pandemic, because prior to that nobody was knowing, or nobody was utilizing, even some of them were knowing, but they were not utilizing this stuff. Anyway, this is the high time, and let me first share my slide, then we will start discussing on this. And I'm thankful to both the principal. Both the principal have highlighted the different areas on related to the topic, and yeah, it is coming, no?
Yes, sir.
It is coming. So let me go for full screen. Yes, it is coming. So
Yes,
this
sir.
is the high time, as you all know, that we are being, directly I can say that we are being cheated by different publishing houses, because of different varieties of authors are nowadays available, as our honorable principal of both the colleges have mentioned that this type of things are happening throughout the country, and he has already cited one example for that. So we'll come familiar with different types of authors, like ghost authors are there. Basically, the ghost authors are there, surrogate authors are there. We'll talk this type of things in due course of time, which is very, very interesting. And I will try to discuss the areas which both the principal have already cited. So I think at the end of this session presentation, many of you may be knowing, and many of you will be surprised to see that this type of things are happening in the society. Better let me open this so that it will be more comfortable for me to discuss. Yeah. So the topic which is in front of you is that plagiarism and publication ethics, and we have to follow the ethics, because without ethics, it is said that if wealth is lost, then we say that nothing is lost. And if you say that health is lost, then something is lost. And if character is lost, then everything is lost. So if I replace this word character, and if I replace this word, and if I use this word that if ethic is lost, then everything is lost, you can say that. Because if there will be no ethics, then where will be surviving in the society? And one picture one audio video I will show you in the middle of the presentation, which will give you the information related to the research activities. We are talking about the peer-reviewed journal. So how the information are available in the peer-reviewed journal, and where the research is going on, in which direction. I will show one small video of 2 minutes. And after getting this video, after viewing this video, will be knowing that in which direction we are moving in this academic world. So let me start with the ethics. So ethics, as I told you, that if ethic is lost, then everything is lost. So we have to maintain our ethics. We have to follow the good path, good direction, go to the good direction, that we should not forget about our moral ethics or responsibility for the society, or whatever good we can do for the society, not only during this pandemic, but throughout our lifetime, we can say that. So this is the common definition, very, very common definition about the ethics. Everywhere we will find it is a layman point of view, we can say that it is a moral principle that a person must follow, irrespective of their caste, creed, sex, place, or time. Behaving ethically involves doing the right thing at the right time and in the right way. That is the most important message which I would like to share with you, that right time, right information should be placed to the right person at the right time and in the right way. So we, being an academician, that for our personal promotion, we have to accumulate points, we have to write papers, we have to attend conferences, you have to write books, edit books, and many academic things comes to your way. And while doing so, some of us, I'm not blaming anybody, so some of us, because of maybe different reasons, because of the consequences, etc., we are deviated from our ethics. So if this particular session, particular presentation, if you see it, then if anybody is there of that type of nature, that type of people who is having such type of nature, they can uh, keep themselves up to date, and they can save themselves from this type of activities. So when we talk about the ethics, that is moral responsibility, moral principles, then it is a common one. But when you talk about the publication ethics, so where, as I told you, being an academician, you have to publish a lot in different types of documents, maybe journals, maybe magazines, maybe books, edited books, conference paper, proceedings, symposium, etc. So it is this publication ethics. Here I would like to focus on the moral principle that author must follow in the area of respect. So irrespective of your subjects, irrespective of the area of interest, so in which field you are writing, in which we are having expertise, so you have to do proper justice with your writings, etc. So it is simply, it is just, if you further go forward, then you can say that it is a systematic investigation into the origin, into its origin, from where it is coming, what is the sources, in order to establish what is the real fact and how to reach the new conclusion we are going to get it from the study, from the investigation, from the research point of view. Because when you are writing a research paper or any article which gives some message to the society, which gives message to your subject area, and already established fact, if already established facts are there, then what is the use of disseminating that to XYZ or ABC of the society? It is meaningless. Always, when we are a researcher, we should always go for the new area, new things, new subject, so that the output of that result can be useful for all of us. So that is why the quest for the knowledge, or the search for the knowledge through objectives and systematic methods, funding solution to a problem, will be always there. So we have to think in this regard, in this way, that way. So novel and significant contribution, which is based on the reproducible and verifiable results. So which I was talking about a few minutes back about the video, etc. When you go through this video, then you will realize what I am telling about, that what is the meaning of this peer review, or finding new area, new search, etc. So you can judge yourself later. So to be an author, when you are writing a paper, maybe research paper, maybe article, maybe popular articles, or maybe for conferences, works, conferences, etc., seminars, etc., then these are the important areas which are very, very important for all of us, like skills and abilities which are required, which are needed for this. So when you are an author, then in that case, you must be highly motivated that on what area you're going to write. So you will be fully electrically charged, you can say that, then only you can proceed further. So motivation is always there. Without motivation, you cannot march a single step, and your paper will be not given any shape and size, etc. So motivation should be there. Then passion is required. You have to focus on that particular area on which you are going to write, and you should have some curiosity among yourself, and curiosity among the readers from your writing. So curiosity is very important from both ways, that from your end and from the writer's point of view, from the reader's point of view also, you have to create curiosity from your writings, so that the people will be attracted towards. So just for example, I can write that novel writers. So when novel writers are writing any novels, and you are reading that novels, so you want to finish it one time. You are not, we don't want to leave it that I will read it later on, because the curiosity of this novel story is that it is attached with previous page to next page to previous page, like this. So that type of curiosity should be always there among the reader, that without finishing your paper, the reader should not stop it, or should not discontinue. That type of curiosity should be in the writers also, author also, you can say that. Enthusiasm is there, interest is there, and your writing should be in such a way that everybody can digest it, everybody can understand it properly. That's why this is common terminology we have used here, that digest, you eat, drink, etc. So it can be understandable by all, and it can be easily whatever the terminology you are using, so that everybody can understand it properly. So that is more important from this point of view. So think out of the box. So as I told you in the beginning itself, when you are motivated, highly motivated, etc., so what others are thinking, you think in some other direction, simply other, and then only the new concept, new idea will come up, and that new concept and new idea will be very, very useful. So for that, there should be critical and independent thinking. So your thinking should not be biased. So whatever directly coming to your mind, maybe good, maybe bad, whatever the consequences. So you have to think in that way. That's why the heading I have given here, the skills and abilities desired for being an author of writing any paper, maybe research paper, anything. These are the further continuation of that risk taking. In some time, some case you will find that some risks has to be taken, and fair and transparent about failure should be also failure. When you are doing say research work, in that case there will be a chance of getting failure, etc. So don't hesitate for that, don't get discertain for that, and always ready to face the challenge, always report the truth from the outcome, whatever coming out. Don't give the biased information, don't give the fabricated information. So data should not be always fabricated. So not the data should not be fabricated. Always genuine data, primary data should be used for writing the paper, etc. And as these are the common things, just like that, simple reading skills should be there, a strong analytical and problem solving attitude should be there, in depth understanding of the subject, whatever subjects you are dealing with, you should have the depth understanding of that. And overall, of course, it matters that good communication skill, that I have already told you in between my lecture, that language should be used such a way that everybody should understand. Maybe knowing good English, but if that English, you are writing that English and I have to take the help of the dictionary several times, then what is the use of that sentence? Okay, so write in such a way that everybody can understand. Write use the proper terminology, you use the proper term in your subject, because all of you are from different subjects. So simple and common terminology should be used so that everybody can understand your writing, maybe research paper, maybe your article, maybe your popular article, or whatever you are dealing with. So there are some milestones in the publications, and those milestones I would like to point out here is that selection of the topic or title. As I told you, that your motivation should be high. When you are highly motivated, then you can think in different areas, your multi-dimension areas, you can say that. So selection of topic and title should be in such a way that that will give you certain output to the society, you can say that. Explore existing knowledge through your extensive literature survey. So literature survey, that is on what area you are going to write. If there is any publication, if there is any work done on that area, and then you go through that, read those publications through the literature survey, and get yourself acquainted with those writings, and then think critically and diplomatically, and present your thought in a piece of paper, and give a shape later on in the form of a research paper or article or whatever you call it. Come up with new ideas. Always you have to go for the new ideas, because see, common things are there. Everybody know the common thing. So what is new in your write-up? So that new in the write-up will be very, very useful for all of you. So always focus on the new area. Then you will find that it is very, very useful for all of us. And implement, validate. Data should be always, as I told you, that fabricated data should not be there. Always give the primary data, and when you are giving the secondary data, then that data should be correct, you can say that. Or what is the main source of data, from where you have taken the data, that source can be identified, source can be mentioned. Then only you can say that yes, your data is correct. So don't always validate your data, collected data, or whatever you are writing, that should be validated, and don't go for fabricated data like that type of things. And publish outcomes. So whatever the public outcomes are coming, you publish in different forms. If it is your thesis, suppose if you are writing a research paper, or your thesis, then what is the outcome? You should write it in the present in different publications, etc. And if it is your paper, etc., then write review of this paper, or ask your friends to write review of your paper, and then you can say that yes, what is the how can you rate that how much important that paper was for the society, like that type of things. So to help gain knowledge, etc., then to have more ideas about that subject, you can attend the conferences, you can present paper in the conferences, publish whatever writing you are doing, try to publish in the top journals. There are many journals nowadays, some are bogus journals are also there, duplicate journals are also there. So you have to save yourself from the journal. I will talk that type of journal later on in the different slides. So technology transfer is also there. Technology transfer, you should think of the technology transfer also. Today, whatever platform you are using, that tomorrow some other platform will come, and that's why whatever you're writing, you try to adopt the new area, new concept, and new technology as well, because softwares are changing, the hardwares are changing, and you are also changing, we are also changing. So that all things go simultaneously from each area. As I told you in the previous slides that selection of the topic is very, very important from the milestone point of view. So topic selection, how the topics can be selected. So passion and interest in the topic or title should be shown by the author, and from your technical strength, from your theoretical knowledge, etc., you can finalize the topic and start writing on the paper. And whatever the data, as I'm talking about the data, etc., so that should be statistically shown in tabular and graphical forms. And if you give some pictures, designs, etc., that should be also authentic one. And always go for the new and hot topic, you can say that. But that does not mean that hot topic does not mean that you are providing wrong information to society. That information should be always accurate and correct one. And you can use different application for that, you can take different idea for that, and like that you can choose the topic, etc. And when you talk about this publication, etc., so there should be always the main area of this main topic of this presentation is the ethical issues. So we have to highlight some ethical issues also. So as I'm always focusing on that fabrication. So fabrication, falsification of the data, etc., should be always taken care, because if you are using the fabricated data, fabricated information, falsification, wrong information, duplicate information, redundant publication, etc., that salami word I have used here, salami means it reflects this duplication, etc. So we have to be safe, we have to keep ourselves away from that type of sides, because when you are going to adopt such type of things, then our ethics to some extent is going to lose. And one important thing we have seen that it is common, it is found common among the writers or author, you can say that multiple submissions. So you have submitted one paper to one of the publishing house, and that publishing house is taking time, because there is a review process there. When you have sent the paper, the editorial board will send to the reviewer will see it, and it is blind reviews. Then many of the publishing houses are now doing the blind review, 2 or 3 steps blind reviews are done. So that takes time, 6 months to 1 year times. So in the meantime, many of the authors think that they might have rejected my paper, they have not communicated me anything, so let me submit me to other publications. So like that, multiple publications are done by some of the authors, writer, etc. So that is also ethical issue that comes under the ethical issue. So multiple submission without taking the consent from the first publishing house where you have submitted. If you want to withdraw it, take the permission from the first publishing house, or if they have rejected you, then, or rejected your paper, then you modify it and then you can submit to the other paper, then it is safe side. But without taking the permission, etc., you are submitting the paper to that publishing house, and that is also that publishing house is also taking some time. Then again you are submitting to third publishing house and fourth publishing house, and sometimes it happens that 2 of the publishing houses all publish that paper. So what happens? It is a duplicate publication. So that type of thing should be avoided. So multiple submission is one of the major problem in the ethical issue related to the publication, etc. So being an author or being a writer, we have to be careful. I have to follow this ethical issue that we should not submit our one paper to different publishing house. In no case, if you are going to submit it, first get the cancellation order, a cancellation letter or withdrawal letter or rejection letter, whatever you feel it. So that is important things. Authorship and order, that is also one of the very important point when you talk about the ethical issues. In authorship and order, you can see that when 2 authors are there, one is the research scholar, another is just a guide or supervisor. Then the author is writing it, doing the work, and the second author is a supervisor, is just verifying it, checking it, and becomes the corresponding authors. Because when you are writing when a paper is written by more than one person, one author or one writer, In that case, one author should be the corresponding author. So in many cases, it is a general trend that the first author is the scholar and the second author is the supervisor or the guide, and he's the corresponding author. Or sometimes the guide asks his scholar to be a supervisor, this corresponding author, like that things. So that is authorship and order. But we have seen that when it is more than 2 authors, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 authors are there. So in that case, one main author is working hard day and night and he's doing writing the paper. Second author is helping to some extent. Third author is also doing something. But fourth and fifth author is idle author. He's doing nothing, but his name is there. His name should be incorporated. That type of things are also there. So that is also ethical issues. When you are not contributing a single word to the publication of that particular paper, so your name should not be there. So that type of things are also happening in the society. We have seen that husband is writing the paper and wife name is also attached, written in the paper. So that type of things are also happening in the society. And wife is writing paper, husband name is included in the paper, whereas husband has not done anything, or when wife is the husband is the author, wife has not done anything. That type of things are also there. So that type of things are coming under the ethical issues. So we have to take care from such type of ethical issues, and it is commonly visible and commonly seen in the society. So being academicians, we have to follow these ethics. Otherwise, we will be nowhere in the society. We are cheating ourselves. We are not cheating the people. We are cheating ourselves. We are cheating the society in that way. We are cheating your institution in that way, directly or indirectly. So that is why authorship and order is very, very important, in which is part of the ethical issues in publications. Scientific misconduct and plagiarism. So the topic is second, 50% of the area of this presentation is the plagiarism. So why plagiarism occurs, what is the requirement of plagiarism, why plagiarism we do, how we can check the plagiarism, that we will do it. But indirectly we can say that it is a misconduct, and it is also a type of ethical issues when you are an author. So in that case, you have to maintain the dignity. Being an academician, being a learned person, you have to maintain the dignity, etc. You should not go to under the shelter of this type of things in the society. And then conflict of interest. There may be some conflict of interest. There may be some copyright agreement. So copyright agreement is also one of the important part. So when you are writing to somebody else, when you are writing a paper, so and you have to submit the agreement paper, copyright agreement, whether copyright will be with the publishing house, or whether the copyright will be with the author. If it is a journal, then generally it is a copyright is given to the publishing house. If it is a edited books, in that case, the author may retain the publisher or copyright agreement, etc. So that is different types of rights. So at the time of doing the agreement, etc., that should be very much clear that who is having the copyright in his or her paper. But if you have given your copyright to the publishing house, in that case, even your paper, even your research paper, even your article, your book, you cannot copy it, you cannot write it separately, you cannot make another paper from that, or cannot another paper from that. That is, if you are doing so, that will be the gross violation of the Copyright Act, etc. And according to that act, lots of punishments are also there. So we will not go to that part, that what are the consequences, what are the punishment from Copyright Act point of view. So this scope is also one of the important, that is Committee on Publication Ethics. There is a committee constituted on publication ethics, so that committee also take the decision, such type of activities, etc. But being an academician, etc., we should always go for the ethical issues, and you have to follow all the ethics which are coming our way. Explore the existing knowledge. You have to explore, being academicians, going to be author, or you are an author, writer. In that case, some existing knowledge should be there. So begin by reading textbook. As I told you in the beginning itself, that you have to attend seminar, conference, etc. You should collect knowledge, gain knowledge from different areas, and there should be always a quest for the knowledge. That is a very important thing. So exploring interesting topics, you have to always explore for the topic. As I told you, that topics should be always new, topics should be always hot, topics should be always informative. So always interesting topics should be considered, and find the recent survey papers on those topics. So if you are if you have chosen any topic etc., of your interest, etc., then you can see that any other papers are already there or not in the literature survey part, etc. You can do such type of things. Then explore special issues of journals and other reading materials on these topics. Sometimes a topic is there, but the topic is very, very interesting, and you want to be part of that topic, want to write something on that paper area, etc., then explore there are some publishing houses, etc. Sometimes they used to publish special issues on that. Now suppose the pandemic is going on, so a lot of the literatures are coming on the this COVID-19 or the vaccines, etc. So lots of pros and cons are there, advantages, disadvantages are there regarding the vaccine, etc. So if you are also interested in that area, in that subject, you can choose that. So you can go to that special issue of the journal. From there you can gain some idea, and then you can do this. And how you can do it? Because of by attending, by reading newspaper, by reading research paper, publications, journals, magazines, etc., by attending conferences on that topic, etc. So that is the way and methods. And you can discuss with your friends, discuss your opinions with your friends and other professional colleagues who is having some ideas about on that area, and you listen to paper presentation in on that area in different platforms, and then you can go for the high impact factor peer reviewed journal, etc., from where it is published. Impact factor, that is, you know, that impact factor journal is highly rated journal, and what is it advantages, and all you know it. Write a review paper. I told you that you can write a peer review paper or about your paper, tell your colleagues, tell your friends to write review on that, but that review should not be biased, that should be authentic one. So these other things should be there. So new ideas to implement and validate is that choose a high level problem, how to choose it from the future work selection of the paper, find a tentative solution. Could be after many failures, you are failing, not getting success several times, but don't be certain one day you will be successful. So try and you will be successful in that area. So at one go your paper may not be published, so you have to write 2 or 3 times same paper, you have to update your paper, and then only after 3 or 4 writings then it will be published by some of the good publishing houses, etc. If any of the publishing houses publishing your paper in one go, then you have to check the quality of the paper and authenticity of the paper. If that paper is highly rated journal, then then there is no problem. But if it is that fake journals or this type of journals, I will give you some of the ideas related to that also. Then you will have some accumulate some idea that what I am telling you about. So for if you are doing the research, etc., or writing the research paper, etc., then you have to formulate the hypothesis, that is problem and solution should be thought, and it should be checked, it should be evaluated, and it should be given right direction. Conduct theoretical and empirical analysis. Then if there is a need of statistical test, etc., do the proper test, and proper statistical test by some statistical tools, use the statistical tools. Then only you can validate and test the significance of the data, or so whatever you have chosen in the this hypothesis, or your objectives should be fulfilled. Like that type of things we have to do it. And what will be the published outcomes? So published outcomes in high quality journals having reasonably good impact factor presented on conference, etc. So always go for good quality journal. And as if you know that what are the journals in your subject, now it is the easiest way to know is that go to the UGC site and UGC care, see the UGC care list. You will get the Scopus related information, web science related information, the different web pages, etc. And from there you choose your journal, etc. And then you start writing on that. And don't become prey of some of the call for papers, or always when you open your mail, etc., you'll find lots of attractive information that publish your paper in this impact factor, that impact factor. But how far that impact factor journal is good or bad, that we don't know. So you have to be careful from that point of view. So make effort to prepare a paper with a good chance of acceptance. How that is typical parameter to judge a paper: novelty of phrase and results, significance of the result, clarity of presentation, do contents and outcome support of the claim made. So always, if you say everything from one point of view, then I can say that ethics is the only answer from this. So you do right labor, right work, then your ethics is fulfilled and you are writing a good paper. So you must be honest for writing a good paper. You must be honest, truthful, accurate presentation, whatever you are getting the findings, whatever the work you have done it. That is data analysis, material, etc., should be used properly. Do not fabricate data. I'm giving importance several times on that fabrication of the data, etc., because these type of things are happening in the society. Every time it is happening in the society. So reveal full details of the research and always maintain the transparency. Then only it can be your paper will be good quality paper. Be clear and as simple as possible in the writing. I have already told you for that. do proper formatting for easy reading, explanation, diagrams, tables on the same page. So tables should not be broken, diagrams should not be broken. Sometimes you have seen that one of the table is here, another part is table is different way. So try to, if the table is in bigger size and it becomes a chart, so don't make a chart, make a table with minimum information, and break the table, break the chart, and make a smaller tables. And on the same page, the table or analysis should be there. And analysis, theoretical part maybe in the other page, but the diagram or picture or this table should be in one page. And proper labeling of the graph should be there, proper font size as per the direction as per given by the publishing houses. You follow the each and every direction, that what should the font size, what should be the name of the font you are using, what should be the citation criteria, everything you have to maintain properly. And after all, when you are doing such type of activities, so the message is that stay away from the plagiarism. So plagiarism is very dangerous thing. You can say that it is like a communicable disease. You can say that it is spreading very quickly. So stay away from the plagiarism is very important. So quality for selection of a paper, that editors and reviewers of all scholarly journals look for the following for selection of a paper for its inclusion in the journal. So these are the criteria which are very important and which all the publishing houses looks for. And what are the criteria? You see it, that originality, what is new about the subject. I have already told you that always go for the new area. Relevance to an extension of existing knowledge. Research methodology, what methodology you have used is conclusion and objective valid. And you have to show, justify the objectives you've drawn. Clarity, structure, and quality of writing. Does it communicate well, or it can be understood by all? So these are things. Sound logical progression of argument, currency of references, compliance to editorial scope and objective of the journal. So these are some of the criteria, quality which had to be followed by each and every author before writing it. And when you are writing it, when you have prepared the manuscript, you have prepared ready for publication, sending it to the publishing house, then these are the simple steps I have tried to show you right here. That peer review process, many of you know it, but even though I am just presenting here, that what is the process as a layman point of view, in a simple point of view, that number one point is that a study conducted, manuscript prepared. That means whatever methodology, whatever methodology technique you have applied, ethics you have applied, everything, you have written the paper, your paper is complete, manuscript prepared, and it is ready. Second step is that manuscript communicated to a journal. You send the manuscript, the write-ups, to the journal of your desired journal, but that journal should be proper one. That journal should not be fake journal. That journal should be genuine journal of your subject. Then editors send paper article to peer review. Then editorial board send that your paper to the peer review team, and reviewer read the paper article and provide feedback. And that may be one attempt, that may be two attempts, sometimes three attempts are also seen, and that type of suggestions are given by the reviewer, and editors then send it back to the author to review it, to change it, and after again within 15 days, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, like that, some time frame is given, and it is sent back to the authors, and author again, after updating it, sent back to the editor again, sent back to the reviewer. Like that, this process goes on continuing. So number 5 step is that reviewers' comment are communicated to the authors. Paper article is rejected, revised, and submitted. After doing that several times, and then whether your paper is accepted or whether paper is rejected, that report is being submitted to the author finally. And if the paper article is finally meets all the editorial requirement, all the editorial needs, editorial standards, peer review standards, etc., then it is published in the next issue or forthcoming issue. This is the simple 6 steps which the all editorial board, editorial publishing house follows, this type of things. So these are some of the things which I've tried to mention you about this publication, etc. And other parts of the slide also, we will show you some of the things related to that. Now, let me give you some idea related to the this plagiarisms. You can say that when your ethic is completely lost, when you are doing the plagiarism, adopting the plagiarism, then your ethic is completely lost. So you know that literature is increasing in such a speed that we don't know, there is no measuring rod to know that how many literatures are published every year, every minute. There are certain sites, Library of Congress was claiming that every hour a book is published, but nowadays there are certain web resources, websites are there which claims that every minute a book is published. So pdf.net is a drive software web page. So if you go to the pdf.net drive, then here you will find that every minute 50 books are being published. So how that is a big question mark. But whatever the reason may be, we know that literatures are increasing very fast, and it has become impossible to keep track of all the literatures which are coming our way. So everybody is becoming author, everybody is author, writer, and since this electronic digital environment has come up, so every day new literatures are coming up. You can say that, as I told you, that every minute 50 documents, 50 books are being published throughout the world. So this type of records are also available in the society. So academic integrity incorporates the core values of the trust, honesty, fairness, respect, and responsibility. This is very important, that honesty, trust, fairness, respect, responsibility is very, very valuable for all of us. And every professional should follow this. Every professional should accept it as a challenge, that what is available in front of us or what we are going to do. So we should not go to the shelter of so-called the word plagiarisms. So academic integrity is based honesty and truth, and academic dishonesty is the ethical issue. You have lost all your issues. So when you talk about the honesty and truth, then you have to trust the academic freedom. You should have the academic freedom. You have to respect the fairness. You have to accept everything with full courage, and quality should not be forgotten. You should not forget the quality. Quality always matters. And when you talk about the misconduct or ethical loss, etc., then we can say that it is academic misconduct, literary theft, cheating, stealing, copying, and everything coming under the plagiarisms, etc. So we are having a futuristic society. Change is visible everywhere. You are the part of this change, because whatever you have seen in your childhood, totally it is completely changed, and we are in the new era, new direction. And these things are, because of this, we are talking about the digital library. We are talking about the online teaching and learning system, and we are now presenting this presentation. We listening this presentation through this online mode, etc. And we are having web 2.0, 3.0. So always innovative ideas are there, which helps us to know many things about this. So there are some changing information landscape which are visible in this technologically changing world. And this is that explosion. I have already told you in the previous slide, that explosion of literature, that is explosion of information, and it is every day it is increasing, every minute it is increasing. And by the help of this information and communication technology, it is easy and quick access has become possible, which are available in the multiple format through the different networks. And we are having lots of nowadays softwares, web applications. Nowadays we are having some apps also. Through the apps also we can do lots of academic activities, we can do lots of works, etc. And of course, when we are doing such type of things, there are various large volume of data which are digitally available, and the user, being a user, when you are using it through the smartphone, smart TV, smart devices, etc. So certainly you are a smart user, because you can handle it all, everything properly. So these are just a view or something refreshing for you for changing landscape, information landscape. You can say that these type of changes are always visible to us. So what are the different forms of the plagiarism? If we say what are the different forms of the plagiarism, then we can say that citation is one of the important part. In-text citation, when you're writing a paper, when you are writing, doing a literature survey, literature review, etc. So you are citing some, giving some in-text citation, and that in-text citation is again you have to give in the bibliography or in the references. That is also one of the important part, that many times you have seen that authors are writing many things in the introduction part or literature review part, but they forget to mention those things in the references or the bibliography. So that is also going under the part, under the going to form the part of the plagiarism, etc. That means something wrong is there, etc. So when one fails to cite and credit similar previous works, etc., and we have seen that many person, what they are doing, that they are copying from one source, and they are not mentioning the source, they are mentioning some third source, other source, who has from whom he has or she has not taken anything. That type of things are also visible in the society. So when one fails to cite and credit similar previous works, so you are failing in your duty. Many of them are there. So multiple publications of the same or similar content in different conferences, journal, as I already told you, multiple publication is one of the ethical laws, ethical issues, etc. So you should be careful from this. And if you are doing such type of activities, then directly or indirectly, we are violating the copyright, we are violating the digital right, we are violating the intellectual property right by applying such type of activities. So include other writing as your own. So many persons are there who are just removing the name of the person and writing his name, everything remains the same. That type of things are also visible in the society. So why it is happening and how it is happening? So one thing, during 95, when this internet came to Assam, you can say that all of you know it, all of you are very much familiar. During that time, it was a dial-up connection and it was very difficult to get the connectivity, etc. And it was so slow that we are unable to even communicate or send an email, etc. also to our friends or to any organizer, etc. But you see the growth and development of science and technology, and because of that the internet it has become part and parcel of our life, and because of the internet we are conducting this program here. So that is why internet is the treasure of knowledge, you can say that, treasure house of information, you can say that. But internet is simply a communication channel. You can say that there are different sources, different web pages are there through which you can get it. Here we mean to say that when I am using the treasure of knowledge or treasure of warehouse of the knowledge, you get, etc. You can say that means there is www, that is World Wide Web, through which we are getting the information. On the left side, you see what is mentioned, that internet has made it easier for everyone to create a paper and plagiarize. And on the right side, it is clearly mentioned that internet has made it very difficult for everyone to create papers and plagiarize. So both information are different. Now we can say that why I have written this, both are contradictory to each other, but no. By the help of the internet, you are able to download, you are able to get many information related to your area of interest. And on the side, if you are directly copying it, directly writing in your own, claiming as your own, so there is a device in the internet also that checks that you are copying it and you are caught red-handed. Your what line, how is the percentage of copy, what is the line you have copied, which are the word you have copied, everything can be identified by the computer, etc. through the internet, through the devices. That is why internet has made both the things easy for the authors and difficult for the authors. In which way? In both ways. That is why only answer to this is the ethics. Your ethics is there, then you are not going to be blamed for that, and always you are going to give the right information to the right user or right reader and right time and the right way, you can say that. Now, layman point of view, what is plagiarism? If you say from the layman point of view, what is plagiarism? Then presenting another's original thought or ideas as your own. That is a plagiarism. Anybody's thought or idea is there and you copied it and you're claiming that it is your own. So that is a plagiarism, simple meaning of this. Using another's exact words without proper citation. You are copying that particular text, particular paragraph, and you are not citing it, but even though you should not write as it is, if the quotations are there, definitions are there, then you can write under quotation mark and you can write, give citation of that author, and then you write that it is not under plagiarism. But if you are claiming without citation, without quotation mark, etc., then it is part of the plagiarisms and you are misusing it. And from the completely layman's point of view, that is what is plagiarism. So in the examination, you will find that, you will see that some of the students are copying to his neighboring student sitting in front, side or back, etc. So that is also beginning of this plagiarism, this type of things. You see that one person is trying to copy, other person is trying to hide his write-up by raising his hand, etc. So this is the simple and layman point of view, again, pictorial representation of what is plagiarism, what is the different meaning of the plagiarisms, how papers are made, as I told you, through this internet, because internet is the biggest creator of information, and through this, without knowing anything, without doing anything, the papers are made, copied from this way, other way, and prepared and made, and claiming that this is your work. That type of things are also happening. This is also type of plagiarism, as I have told you, that everything is same, paper same, only the author name is changed here. Author name is being heightened, and the person will claim that this is my writing, this is my paper. So that type of things are happening in the society, and which are visible. So the plagiarism is the act of stealing someone else's work and attempting to pass it off as your own. That is a simple way. This can apply to any form. This can apply to anything from papers, photographs, songs, ideas, anything. It is a type of intellectual theft. So even songs, you are copying songs, lyrics are copied, songs, musics are copied, and photographs, design are copied. So everything, if you are copying it and not giving importance to that write-up, then it is a plagiarism. Simple way of plagiarism. So it is a type of intellectual theft, and who are doing the intellectual peoples are doing this type of theft. So it includes someone else's exact words without using quotation marks, as I have already told you. using someone else's ideas without using a citation, even if the source is in the bibliography, using rearranged words from a source without a citation. Suppose two friends are talking with each other and they have come to a conclusion that yeah, this is the new area which we will work together, but next day the other friend has stolen his idea and he has started working on that and without telling his friend with whom he has talked yesterday. So that is also a type of plagiarism, that you are cheating your friend that you are going to work in that area. Both of your mind was involved in that, both, and you are using alone by leaving your friends. That type of things happening. Why people plagiarize? This is a common things will come to your mind. So why people plagiarize? Then reason of plagiarism is that lack of time or planning. This is a common reason. Pressure to publish for career advancement, as I told you in the beginning itself, that for the personal promotion, etc. From if you're a teacher, that from stage 1 to stage 2, how many points you have to accumulate it, how many paper you have to write it, like that type of thing. So career advancement, maybe the pressure, then fear of failure if you are doing nothing, and you are having fear psychosis, etc. Then always there will be fear of failure, etc. Lack of enforcement, lack of knowledge is also one of the problem, and laziness is one of the biggest problem here, you can say that. And other is that to influence others. Influence others means I have written this much number of paper, my paper is published in this journal, in that journal, like that type of thing. And then we have seen in every household that competition among the parents, parental competition, colleagues pressure, etc. Parent is saying that my son has published this number of paper, my son has attended this number of seminar, national seminar, international seminar, like that. So that type of pressure is always there. So there are a certain group of people who knowingly, unknowingly becomes the prey of this plagiarism. So we have to be careful. And these are the point we should always take care that we should not fall any of the point here. So when you talk about the types of plagiarisms, there are hundreds of types of plagiarisms. If you go to the Google and just write types of plagiarism, you'll get more than hundreds of types of plagiarisms. And these types are adding every time. There is no that one type is continuing, few types are continuing. Every time new types are coming up. It is also a type of research. You can say that how many types and what are the different methods to do the plagiarisms. Just like in the examination, you have seen that some of the students are so smart that they can copy. You know that you are copying, that student is copying, but when you go nearby that, you cannot find out where he has kept that piece of paper from where he is copying. So this is an art, etc. You can say that. So plagiarism, the source, the media, the medium, etc. is increasing every day. How to plagiarism? That's some of the common types are shown here. Complete plagiarism, it is a piece of work copied entirely from one or more sources. So this is a complete plagiarism. Copy and paste, this is the oldest. Copy and paste technology is the oldest copy technology for doing the plagiarism. Nowadays, some of the people are saying lift and feed. Lift from this paper, feed to that paper. So lift from this paper, feed to that paper, that type of. So lift and feed technologies are also there. Copy and paste. So copy it and paste according to your requirements. So available information from internet or electronic journals can be copied and pasted. Word switch problem, you are changing the word, you are using the synonymous word, changing the synonymous word and claiming your own, rearranging the sentence, etc. Also you are doing. That is why you see here word switch program, plagiarism. If you copy a sentence or paragraph into your assignment and change a new words, change a few words, it will still be considered to be a plagiarism, because the computer, the anti-plagiarism software will catch that one, that from what is the own original source of that. Self-plagiarism, as I told you that if you're writing your own work and try to again write in a different way or copy it in a different way, your copyright given to the others. So that is also part of self-plagiarism. Even your own writing cannot be copied as it is. You have to change it and you have to cite it. But you have seen again another ethical issues where I have not shown there, but it has come to my mind just now. That another ethical issue is that self-citation. You will find that there are certain group of author. He is writing a paper, and in the bibliography or in the references, you will find his more than 10 citations. That is again unethical. It is not. Ethic is not good. So your paper, one or two best paper can be cited. 10, 15, 20 papers cannot be cited just to increase. That is why when the impact factor is calculated, when the index, I index and I10 index, H index and I10 index is calculated, then your self citation is ignored. Self citation, they are not giving importance. So that is separate issue. We will not talk a lot on that, indexing I10 or H index, etc. So we are talking about plagiarism. So self plagiarism is when you reuse your own previously written work or data in a new assignment and do not refer it appropriately. So in 2020 April 2020, UGC has given a circular notification. I will try to show you at the end of the paper that even you are writing from your own papers, etc., that is coming under self plagiarism, and you will be punished accordingly for that. So these are some names: source-based plagiarism, direct plagiarism, self or auto-plagiarism, paraphrasing plagiarism, inaccurate authorship, mosaic plagiarism, accidental plagiarism, and many more. As I told you, there are 100+ plagiarism. When you go to the Google and just write what are the different types of plagiarism, you will get it. So plagiarism in various words with plagiarism, as I told you, the words are changed. Sentence rearrangement program, plagiarism. So sentences are rearranged. And let me cite one example to this sentence rearrangement plagiarism that you may be knowing or might have heard once. This software, Spinner. Spinner is one of the software. It is a commercial software. It is not freely available, or it is not available in open access system. So it is a commercial software. When you download this software, or when you purchase this software by any means, when you get the membership of that software and you try to write anything, see anything, so you just take any paper and upload that paper in the spinner and just give the instruction, spin this paper. So the system will spin it and a new area is coming. That means sentences are changed, paragraphs are rearranged, etc. And when you go through it, you will understand, you will be able to find out something is there. That means some new concept is there, what was earlier. Okay, when again you spin it, then in the second or third spin, everything is changed. And now, even if it was your paper, you go through it, you will find that this is completely new thing, and I have not written this paper. This is completely new paper. Who has written this paper? And that paper is not being caught by this anti-plagiarism software also. But the meaning, ideas, concept, everything is changed there, because computer has translated, changed it in their own area, in their own language, or in their own systems. So paragraphs are there, as sentences are there, paragraphs are there, but nothing could be understood from that paper. So spinner software is there. Then again, if you are a smart plagiarist, then you go through it and just rearrange it properly, give some meaning of this sentence and word, and your new paper is ready within 1 hour. So that type of software is also having there. So that is the example of sentence rearrangement plagiarism. So organization plagiarism, here one copies another person's plan for his idea, whole work, etc. This is also type of plagiarism. You can say that. Style plagiarism, when you're copying the style, etc. So here the words may be different, but the way the topic is explained and the order in which ideas are listed is the same, like copying another author's path of reasoning or explanation. This is style plagiarism. You're copying the style of anybody. Idea plagiarism. This is again important. I have already cited this idea plagiarism, that when two friends are talking with each other and they have shared one ideas, and next morning, without telling him, his idea has been utilized by the other friend. So that is coming under idea plagiarism. So if you repeat one of the original idea without revealing that another person is the source, you commit idea plagiarism. So you are ignoring your friend's idea and you are claiming that idea as yours idea. That is coming under the idea plagiarisms. So metaphor plagiarism is also there. In this plagiarism, the writer takes a unique creative metaphor by the original author without giving credit to him. The original words may not be copied, but the comparison metaphor is used. So you are writing in a way you are giving your views, ideas, etc. That type of plagiarism is done maximum in the music and songs, etc. Metaphor plagiarism type of things are repeated in such type of activities in the music industries, etc. So thoroughgoing plagiarism, this is also one type of plagiarisms. It means that copying everything from one or more sources, everything from this source you copy something, from that source you copy something, from this source you copy something and claim your own. So it means copying of everything from one or more sources. It is plagiarism because there is no originality in the paper. It's just lifting the ideas of others and frames it in your own words. That is the thoroughgoing plagiarism. So if you use our own about topic and supporting it with the borrowed material using references and quotation, then this could be avoided. This is the message from here. And online plagiarism is very, very common plagiarism. All of you know it, and many of us are involved in such type of activities. So there are some online plagiarism detection tools. Again, you go to the Google and you type it, you will get lots of free anti-plagiarism softwares which can detect, but free is always free. That will not give you the accurate and up-to-date information. For that, you have to purchase, you have to use. At present, this Turnitin Authenticate is, these are said one of the best anti-plagiarism software detecting tools, and UGC has given us freely to the universities that Urkund, so we are using Urkund. So now in the initial level, the condition of Urkund was not so good, but Urkund has also developed their database, and now Urkund is also not bad. But if you compare Urkund with the Turnitin, you will get the difference. So the percentage shown in the Urkund is suppose 4 or 3%. So that same document, if you check in the Turnitin or Authenticate, it will give you at 9%, 10%, 12% like that, because of the technological changes, etc. So various websites are there in the internet, so you can download some of them. And as you know that because of the rapid expansion of information technology in the present era, plagiarism is increasing at every second. So many persons are under the shelter of that. So different slides, different softwares are there. You have to take the help of that software. So if you see it in the Google, you will find list of top 10 plagiarism checker tools available today. Like this, you will get a list that DupliChecker, Grammarly, Paper-Rater, Plagiarism, Search Engine Reports, Tracker, Plagiarism, Plagium, Copied Leaks, PlagScan, Unplugged Checker, etc. These are all available in the internet. You can see and download it. These are freely available, top 10 freely available checker. Now you see, these are the commercial ones. These are very, very costly one. That Turnitin Authenticate. So this Turnitin, this Authenticate, these two are very important. And Turnitin is used widely throughout the world. And Authenticate is also used. Earlier in Guwahati University or the UGC other universities, we are using this Turnitin and Authenticate. But for the last several years, we are using Urkund software for checking the plagiarisms. So these are other plagiarism, anti-plagiarism tools. These are open source. So Viper address is given, Tracker address is given, plagiarism.org, Turnitin, this is a commercial one, Authenticate, this is a commercial one, Plagiarism Checker, these are commercial one, plagiarism detectors. So many more are there. So those who are free, just a paragraph or one paper can be checked. But if you want the real information, real report, etc., then you have to take the help of either Turnitin, Authenticate, or Urkund, whatever we are having. At present, the members of UGC University Grants Commissions, the university libraries are given this Urkund software by the UGC through the Implement Center, and we are using it. Forever. These are some screenshots of plagiarism software, DupliChecker, then check for plagiarism.net, Dustable Plagiarism Checker, plagiarismchecker.com, Article Checker. This is the Urkund software, which is being used by the university libraries of the country, those who are the member of E-Sodh Ganga program of UGC Implement Center. And in our research, those who are doing the PhD work, so you have to check the summary report by this software, and the certificate is being issued by the library, and that certificate can be given to the scholar for this. So this is the Urkund, etc. So for avoiding this plagiarism, so avoiding plagiarism is quite simple. The best method for avoiding it is to be simple and honest. That means, in one word, you can say ethics, professional ethics should be there. When you have used a source in your paper, give credit where it is due, whatever sources you have used for writing anything, any speech, even a small paragraph, etc. Don't forget to give credit to the source. Acknowledge the author of the original work. You have used it. You always acknowledge the author from where you have taken a single sentence also. These are some of the things. And technically, related to bibliography or references, when how to avoid it. So this APA style, APA 7th latest edition, you have to use it now. 7th edition is also available, and these are the different style: APA style, MLA style, Chicago style, Howard style, Indian Standard Information Documentation style, etc. So you can choose any of this, but generally we have seen that APA style is being used. But there is no hard and fast rule that which style you have to use, or it varies from institution to institution, organization to organization, or the publishing house to publishing house. Publishing house will tell you that which style you have to follow it, or what citation style should be. The citation or references should be written in which style, that they should tell in there how to write a paper. Steps to ensure paper is free from the plagiarism. So this is again very important, that when you are writing the paper, you have to ensure yourself that the paper is free from the plagiarism. These are the steps. So keep track of the sources you consult in your research. You have to keep the track from where you have taken it. Paraphrase or quote from your sources and add your own idea. Paraphrase is possible, but you have to add your own idea and give a new shape, etc. And don't copy directly, but you have to give the citation of that source from where you have taken this paragraph. Credit the original author in an in-text citation and reference list. As I have already told you, the in-text citation must be given in the reference. Use a plagiarism checker before you submit it. Whenever you submit any paper to any of this publishing house, you check the percentage of the plagiarisms, etc. Now, this is the video I wanted to show, do's and don'ts, etc. You see if it is coming, I can show you.
People talk glibly about science. What is science?
Yeah.
People coming out of a university with a master's degree or a PhD, you take them into the field and they literally don't believe anything unless there's a peer-reviewed paper. It's the only thing they accept. And you say to them, but let's observe, let's think, let's discuss. They don't do it. It's just, is it in a peer-reviewed paper or not? That's their view of science. I think it's pathetic. Gone into universities as bright young people, they come out of them brain dead, not even knowing what science means. They think it means peer-reviewed papers, etc. No, that's academia. And if a paper is peer-reviewed, it means everybody thought the same, therefore they approved it. An unintended consequence is that when new knowledge emerges, new scientific insights, they can never, ever be peer-reviewed. So we're blocking all new advances in science that are big advances. If you look at the breakthroughs in science, almost always they don't come from the center of that profession. They come from the fringe. The finest candle makers in the world couldn't even think of electric lights. They don't come from within. They often come from outside the breaks. We're going to kill ourselves because of stupidity.
So, yes, so you have seen this video, and you have seen that the person was talking about the peer review. So when we talk about that, why you have not given the literature survey, literature review, etc. of this, your paper. So if your work is completely new area you have thought of, new concept you are going to write, not nowhere any information related to that your thought is available, then where there will be this literature review, etc. So automatically in the peer review, the editor or the team of the peer review is to reject that paper, that this paper is not mentioning that literature review, etc. That means you are blocking the output, you are blocking the result, you are blocking the invention, etc., new concept, ideas, etc. That video was trying to send a message. So now, being an academician, we can think that when you talk about this, there should be always the literature review of your paper. So it is impossible. It is not possible to write always the literature review of a paper which you are going to write if it is completely new concept, new ideas, etc. So that was the message which I tried to share with you. And I just few days back, 2 or 3 days back, I got this clip through the WhatsApp group, and I thought that this is the right information which is directly fitting with my presentation. That's why I have tried to show you here. And I don't have any idea that from where this, what is the source of that video, from where this video has been taken. So in my first slide, you might have seen that I have not written presented by, I have written compiled by. Why I have written compiled by, why I have not written presented by? Presented by means whatever I am telling at you is all are mine work, mine creation. No, all are not mine creatures. I have tried to give some references, give some citations at the end of my presentations. And particularly this video I have shown you, I don't have any source for that. But whoever made this, uploaded this video is very good. I'm thankful to that person. And if I will not say, then that is also part of this plagiarism, etc., that I have copied and I'm trying to present. That's why I'm not doing that. It is not mine. It is just compiled work, etc. And this is a website. The link is not at present. I will show you at the end of this work. That here do's and don't do. There is one professor, Kishan Kumar. He has given a huge list of 10 list of do's and don't do's for writing the paper, etc. If at the end, if it opens, then I will try to show you. So that's why I have given one link here. So simply for writing the paper, etc., which is convenient for me, which I think convenient for this presentation, is that you should not do many things. Whatever I'm talking about, you have to do it. But here I'm telling you, don't do, because in the title of the paper, title of this presentation, do's and don't were mentioned. So if you go for the don't, so in fake impact factor, fake journals metrics should be avoided. So there are n number of fake journals. You know that UGC is thousands are journals are being rejected by the UGC, and you go to the UGC site www.ugc.ac.in. There you can find out the list of fake journals. You find that some clone journals are there, 20 plus, 30 plus, around 30 journals are clone journals are there, which looks like similar to one. You cannot at one go, you cannot think that this is the duplicate journal. ISSN number will feel that it is same. If it is ISSN numbers are same, name of the journal, somewhere some alphabet is missing, or particular word is missing, or some alphabet is missing, like that. So that type of things are also being done. So that clone journal, you go to www.ugc.ac.in and find out the list of that clone journal, you will get the list. So that is very important for that. Okay, so fake journals are there, you will get the list of fake journals there. And for a new author, new teacher who have joined the colleges or universities, so for them, when you are writing anything, you just go to this UGC site, or go to Web of Science, go to Scopus, or go to PubMed, or go to any indexing of your subject, indexing list of your subject, and from there you choose the list of the journal, and then you. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Audible, no? Okay.
Yes.
I thought it is disconnected. So you can choose that. So author page model for open access. So see here, our honorable principal sir was talking about that you have to pay some amount. So amount varies from 1,500 rupees to 30,000. If you want to get it published in even fake journals, so they're charging 2,000, 3,000 rupees, and they will get your paper published within 24 hours. You send the paper now, and tomorrow that paper will be published in your name in the online platform, and you have to pay 2,000, 3,000 rupees for that. But they will give you highest impact factor. They will give you the this ISSN number, everything, but that is a fake journal. So that type of journals are also available in the society. So don't become prey for this. There are certain agents roaming in the society. They will ask you, or through the online platform, they will contact you that you pay 10,000 rupees, your paper will be published in the care listed journal. You pay 30,000, 20 to 30,000 rupees, your journal paper is going to be published in the Scopus Index journal. Like that type of offer you will get every now and then. So my intention is that you should not become prey to that. Okay, so fake peer review process, they will show you that peer reviewed journals are there, peer reviewed teams are there, but they are all fake. So don't fall prey to call for papers. When you open your net, etc., you will find a call for paper, or your Facebook page. When you open it, you will find lots of invitation for call for papers. When you open this your WhatsApp group, etc., you will find call for papers, etc. So many of the call for papers are fake, duplicate, etc. So don't become prey to that, and they will show the advertisement in such a way that your paper is going to be published, and then they charge you the money, etc. So author pays for that, etc. That type of things are there. So they will charge some money, and at the end you come to know that this is that was a fake journal, and your money is lost, and your this labor is also lost. So that type of, don't fall prey to the such type of journals. Claims such as they used to claim that under the process you will find some of the advertisements or some of this call for paper, etc. Claims that under the process under PubEd or indexing, PubMed indexing, or Scopus indexing, or UGC care list, etc. They make claim like that indexed in Elsevier, Scopus, Web of Science, etc. That type of claims they used to say, but those are all fake. So best solution to save yourself is that if it is Elsevier, go to the original site of the Elsevier. If it is Scopus, go to the Scopus site. If you Web of Science, go to the Web of Science. If it is UGC care list, go to the UGC care list and check the authenticity, check the journal which they are claiming that this is the impact factor, this is the rated journal, highest rated journal, etc. And find out the name there, where it is there, it is listed there or not. Even if you are doing it casually, that clone journal type things may be there also. Again, may not be there, but your list and that original list will have some similarity about that. So clone journals means some alphabet, some word, some paragraph, some name are different. Even ISSN numbers are same. So if you want to check it, what are the different types of clone journal, you go to UGC site and just check that, and then you will know it very well that what I am talking about. So these are the don't do things. So these are very, very important. Always go to the original site. Always go to the original site. Just for example, let me cite you that nowadays if you want to make your online license, apply for online license or extension of the license, etc. So license or this passport, etc. So when you open it, you will find in the beginning some fake websites are there, and it looks like similar to that, but there are some differences. And if without checking this authenticity, and if you start feeding the data, everything will remain same. But when you make the payment, after making the payment, you will not get the reply that when your slot is given, on which day you have to go to the passport office, like the type of slot, or on which day you have to go to the DTO office for your license, etc. So that is the fake one. So you have to save yourself from the fake one. Always go to the authentic sources, etc. So be careful from such type of things. It happens only in ... You can think yourself where that type of things happens. But here I'd like to mention the ghost writer, ghost author, or the ghost writer. Ghost author, ghost writer is that type of things are also prevailing nowadays in our country, and there are many so-called briefcase publishing house moving from one place to another place, in Assam also, in Guwahati also, in every part of the country also, that briefcase publishing houses are moving here and there, searching their prey, etc. So under ghost authorship, what happens, or ghost writer, what is the meaning of this, is that publishing house will publish a book of any subject of your choice. You just tell him the subject, name of the subject. I want a book in this subject. I want a book in library science. I want a book in management. I want a book in physics. I want a book in chemistry. I want a book in history, political science, like that. Tell any subject, any sub area of the subject, etc. And then within a week, within few days, your book is ready. And what they should do, they should collect, copy one paragraph from this book, copy one paragraph from that book, copy one paragraph from third book, another book, like that. And they give a shape, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 paragraphs are given. They give a new name, and they will give the publishing house. That publishing house also maybe fake publishing house, and ISBN number will be there. Then your name, photograph, everything will be there. Your biography will be there. But you don't know ABC of that book. You have never written a single word for that books. So that is the ghost writer, ghost author, which is available nowadays in the society, and many persons have become, in Assam also, many persons have become prey of that. Okay, so ghost author is nowadays very much prevailing in the society. Professional authors and writers. So there are some in ghost author also, in the publishing houses, they used to appoint the retired persons, suppose retired person in commerce, retired person in chemistry, retired person in library science, and they are paid, they are given the salary, per month salary. But per month salary means based upon how many works they are going to do. So their duty is to recollect books from different online sources and copy the paragraph from different sources and make a new book. And within 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, a book is published. That is the ghost author. We don't know the author, who is author, but the author is there, and the author is in between in the society, living in the society, but he is not the real author. He or she is not the real author. Then professional authors, you can appoint anybody, the person expert in that field. That again, that type of publishing houses do. They appoint that professional authors. There are professional writers are there, authors are there. They will write on behalf of you. They will write and give your name, etc. That is, but here in professional writers, professional authorships, the content, etc., are to some extent proper, accurate. You can say that it is not the pirated one, or maybe pirated also. Depends upon the qualification and caliber of the professional authors. But ghost author is 100% duplicate one, copied one. Professional authors may be copied, may not be copied. Then surrogate authors. Surrogate authorship is again very, very important. So surrogate author means somebody, surrogate author means that in one of my picture I have shown you that one person was just using the whitener to change the name. So that is a surrogate author. Others works. Different person. I have written a paper and somebody has changed my name and claiming his own paper. That is a surrogate authorship. So I have done nothing, but I am changing the name of this author and I am claiming it. So such type of research thesis is also there in available in the different libraries of our country. So research, investigation is going on in different parts of the country related to that. If somebody lodge a complaint against that, so that is common features nowadays. Surrogate authorship is also nowadays common feature. Gift authorship, as I told you in the beginning, again here that I have not used the word gift authorship. So gift authorship meaning is that adding the name of the spouse, friends, etc. as author. So that means author has first main author has done many things, but other wife has done, and wife or husband has done nothing, friend has done nothing, but their names are added to this. That is called the gift authorship. And anonymous authorship, publishing with pseudonyms. There are some persons who are hiding their name intentionally. So here also, if the work is genuine one, in that case, no problem, even if it is anonymous author. But if it is copied or pirated, then in this case it matters. So that's why I've given the heading careful. It happens only in ... And next you see slide, it happens when it happens. The author has poor time management. I have told you the reason for plagiarism. So author has poor time management skill. There is an exception that one will publish maximum in short time. That time problem is there. The student or the research scholar has a dream to prove as a better performer, lack of self-confidence. If there is no plagiarism checker, some of the writers feel free to be unethical. That type of things are there. So it happens when this type of things happens. And what is the, just quickly, I will take within 5 minutes, I will try to finish it. What are the sudden reason? What is the reason for sudden growth of this? So reason is that, as I told you, because of the different types of guidelines are issued by the UC, issued by the institutions, issued by the various agencies, and which is amended from time to time, and we have to follow all such type of things. And because of the different regions, because of personal problems, we are unable to do it. That is one of the reasons for that. And this, because of this accumulating point, etc., that has brought revolution, and everybody is becoming author nowadays, and everybody wants to become, write a book, write a paper, publish a book, edit a book, etc. That type of things are going on. So that violates the, if you are doing the wrong things or copying things, etc., that violate the copyright, digital right, and intellectual property right of others' work who has done it. Now UGC has given some penalties, etc. There are some common penalties, etc. Let me talk quickly on this. That penalties and punishment, if anybody is caught red-handed by doing so. So common is public disclosure. It is public is made known that this type of things are happening. Then warning is given, awarding 0, no credit for the work. Then withdrawal of the degree honor. In many cases, we have seen that degree is withdrawn, honor is withdrawn. Loss of research funding. If it is research fund, then loss, you have to refund the fund, etc. Like that type of things. Loss of professional stature, degrade promotion, termination from the employment, discharge from the services, dismissal, expulsion, suspension, etc. will be the consequences. Legal action against the individuals. And as per the UGC guidelines, basically when you are copying, caught red-handed by doing submitting thesis and writing the papers, you see, as per the 2018 July regulation, UGC regulation, they have identified the penalties. And this is the clause number 12.1 of the UGC regulation, which was published on 23rd July 2018. That penalties in case of plagiarism in submission of thesis and dissertations. This is basically for thesis and dissertation. Here, one thing is important, that each and every institution should have their own institutional academic integrity panel. So that panel has to be constituted by the individual university, institution, etc. That panel shall impose penalty concerning the severity of the plagiarism. So that panel will take the decision that what punishment should be given, etc. But UGC has given a guideline for that level 0. That means when the similarities or plagiarism you have done up to 10%, then that is called as minor similarities. For that, there is no penalty for that, because you might have written the definitions or quotation, etc. that will come under this 10%, etc. Then under level 1, similarities between 10% to 40%. So here the UGC is saying that such students shall be asked to submit a revised script within a stipulated time period not exceeding 6 months. That is, within 6 months you have to submit the paper again, thesis again. Then level 2, that is similarities between 40 to 60%. In that case, it is UGC saying that such students shall be debarred from submitting a revised script for a period of 1 year. So up to 1 year, you will be debarred from submitting your thesis. And the level 3, where it is more than 60%, then here it says that such student registration for that program shall be cancelled. Here UGC is saying that that student program registration will be cancelled if it is more than 60%. So below 60%, to some extent, you are at the safe side. You have to revise it for several times and you can submit it. And this is point number 12.2 in case of research publication, that is paper you are writing, research paper you are writing, publishing in different journals, etc. So here level 0, that is up to 10%, minor similarities, no penalty here, also it is excused. If it is 10% to 40%, then the author is asked, they shall be asked to withdraw the manuscript. You have to withdraw the manuscript. Similarities above 40 to 60% shall be asked to withdraw the manuscript, shall be denied a right to 1 annual increment. If you are doing a job, your 1 annual increment will be stopped by the institution organization. Number 3, shall not be allowed to be a supervisor to any new master's, MPhil, PhD students for a period of 2 years. If you are a supervisor, then you will be debarred from being a supervisor for MPhil student, PhD student, etc. for 2 years. And if it is more than 60%, level number 3, then shall be asked to withdraw the manuscript, shall be denied a right of 2 successive annual increment, 2 increment will be deducted, shall not be allowed to be a supervisor to any new master, MPhil, PhD student, scholar for a period of 3 years. So you will be debarred for 3 years. These are the penalties which has been laid down by the UGC. So for preventing plagiarism, consult your instructor, plan your paper, take effective notes. When in doubt, cite sources, make it clear who said what, that is for citation, know how to paraphrase, analyze and evaluate your sources, adopt plagiarism detection tools. These are coming into the do's. And few example, I will not name anybody here, but even a vice chancellor of a university was expelled few years back from his service, suspended from his service, and many scientists, many directors, many big personalities was caught red-handed for adopting this unfair means, that is plagiarisms, and they were found guilty for that. And the state of Assam is also not untouched with this communicable disease of plagiarism. Various such cases are traced and being available. You can go to the YouTube channel, you just write plagiarism in Assam, you will find lots of videos on plagiarism which has been taken place in the state of Assam as well. So these are just paper clippings of some of this. This is again the famous plagiarists abroad in India. On the left side, you will find that they are from at international level. On the right side, they are from the national levels. All of them lost their name, fame. Some even lost their jobs. And on the left side, it is, you see, all are big people: H.G. Wells, T.S. Eliot, Martin Luther King, and so on. And on the right side, you see Bharat Ratna awardee, Bhatnagar awardee, Padma Shri awardee, Director General of Major Councils, Fellows of National Academics, Directors, Scientists of National Laboratories, Director, Faculties of IIM, Vice Chancellors of Universities, Deans, Professors of IITs and Universities, Bollywood writers, composers, etc. So these are just simple examples that the type of punishment I have already told you, that type of names are being published in different places. Just to quickly, few suggestions. So plagiarism is spreading like a communicable disease which needs immediate check. Otherwise, this disease will certainly wipe out the academic society. You can say that. And this can be checked only if we, all the elite society, take moral responsibility of not allowing any person who are indulging such activities. That means we have to follow our ethics. And more important is that in various IQAC of the colleges, institutions are publishing different books and journals, etc. So for them, that all publishing houses of the world are, and institutions, associations, organizations, or IQAC of the colleges, in universities, etc., are publishing books, journals, proceedings of various activities, namely the seminar, conferences, etc., requested not to publish books, papers without checking the plagiarism. You must check it, then you publish it. By doing so, you can check the plagiarism to some extent, and you can save the ethics of those people. But we hope that if our morality awaken, then we will not push ourselves to such dreadful activities. Let us hope for the best of elite academic society in this technologically changing world. And this is the list. If it is coming, I see it regarding the self-plagiarism. Yeah, it is coming. So this is self-plagiarism notification 20th April 2020. So clearly the UGC has mentioned about this self-plagiarism, etc. You can check it later on. And yeah, and this is UGC regulations, which is amended from time to time. And to conclude, technological advancement made the job of creator very easy. It also made the job of copier very easy. Because of that, these type of things are happening. This is just an attempt to highlight what is happening in the modern academic society. how there is a flood of literatures in every branch of knowledge, how the literatures and other products are copied and claimed as one's own work by literate society, leading towards the violation of various rights. And we should not forget our ethics. Our ethics should be there. So this is the message from my side. Stop plagiarism, save academic integrity, say no to plagiarism. And thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share our views and ideas related to this plagiarism and publication ethics, etc. Here I have mentioned a special thanks because, as I told you in the beginning, these are all not my creature. I have borrowed information here and there. So a special thanks to Implement Center. A special thanks to Mr. Manoj Kumar K, scientist in Implement Center, Sabita Gandhi from Gujarat University UGC sites, and all academicians from whom I have taken the help. And some of the references are here. See here, I have mentioned here some of the references which are very, very important, and some of them are missed also. So that's why I'm thankful to all those persons from whom something has been taken. And in the beginning, you see, as I told you in the beginning itself, that the title itself is Plagiarism and Publication Ethics. So here I have not written presented by or written by. I have written compiled by, because many of the things are not mine, which has been just like this picture, etc., or graph, etc., are not mine. That's why I have used the word compiled. So thank you very much once again to all of you. Now, if you have any doubts, any clarification you want, I am ready to share with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And really, it's a very wonderful presentation. And rather than presentation, it was a very insightful discussion also. So thank you very much for giving a brief and very descriptive idea regarding the academic integrity, that is plagiarism, and the publication ethics, which will definitely boost the participants to further understand the publication industry and the publication ethics. Thank you very much again and again, sir. We have received many questions from the participants. So again, if participants wants to ask the questions directly to our resource person, they can raise their hand from the Zoom application. I will unmute them. And sir, first question is from a madam. She has asked this, that she has published a paper in the Web of Science in 2021, but when she published the paper, she don't know that that particular publisher or that particular journal was in the predatory list. But after publication, she came to know about this reality. Then after some time, this journal was again updated, and that particular journal was not in the predatory list. So whether her research career will be infected or not with this?
See, two things we have mentioned here, that at the time of publication it was in the predatory list, and later on it is in the accepted list, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So in that case, if the duration in which your paper was published, that publication will not be counted, because at that time it was not the accepted journal. Okay, it was not index journal, it was not accepted journal. So for that point of view, for that purpose, your credit will not be given. You will not get any point for that, but nothing will happen to you because you are not knowing about that. Okay, but be careful when you are publishing, as I told you during my presentation, that you go to the original site. If you getting the invitation from call for papers or something like that, or highly impact factor, or you are getting information from this Facebook page or WhatsApp page or through your mail, etc., first check its authenticity, check the originality or source of the paper, who is the publisher, whether it is genuine or not. Go to the particular, suppose you are talking about Web of Science, so go to the Web of Science page and just you check the list of the Web of Science, that whether this journal is appearing there or not. Certainly there will be ISSN number will be there. You can check through the ISSN number also. If that name is not appearing in the Web of Science original page, then certainly that is a duplicate one. So it is a message to all the academic society, all the the teaching community, that before submitting any paper to any of the publishing house, first check the authenticity of that, check the genuinity of that, then only go ahead. Otherwise, that type of situation may arise. So for that paper, nothing will happen to you, but you will not get any point for that period, because during that period when it was published, it was under the duplicate journal, you can say that. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Another question from Dilesh Sukamaran. He has asked that lots of people are using Google images in their papers. Sir, could you please comment on the ethical issues of this matter?
So when you are using Google image, so any image you can copy it, because somebody has posted that image. But when you are posting that image, you just mention the source. Okay, who is the creator? If that image information is available in the Google, that who is the creator of that image, then it's fine. Otherwise, you mention the source of that Google image and date of access, on which date you have copied that image from this, because you are going to use that for academic purpose. That image you are going to use for academic purpose or in support of your some writings, etc. So that can be done, but a source must be mentioned. Then it will not be unethical issue. It will become under ethical issues.
Okay, sir. Sir, very common question actually. Always this question is to be asked in many platforms. That, sir, what are the different tools? That means free internet tools which are available on Assamese language for checking the plagiarism.
Yeah, for Assamese language, this is one of the problem because of the script, etc. So Unicode is the one of the problem, but the research is going on, the work is going on. Until now, we are not 100% successful. So it is very difficult to yes, check the Assamese thesis, etc. or Assamese paper. And nowadays, some of the databases are there. Through the databases in the network, internet, it is there, so that can be searched. Otherwise, what happens that in machine language, some reports are coming when you are searching this. Suppose if I cite the example of this Urkund, etc., then machine language, some information comes and it gives the report that in your thesis, in your paper, somewhere you have used some English quotation or English wording, English lining, etc. So that checks that one and the report is given on that basis. So this is one of the problems still we're facing, but that problem is not with the Bengali literature or Hindi or other language literature, but in Assamese language, still research is going on, and very soon we'll be successful in this regard.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Another
Because of the
question.
limited database we are having at present.
Yeah, another question from Papuri Bardule. She has asked that what is the percentage of reference can we put in the thesis? And another question by her, that after reading a book or material, if you write an analysis in the thesis, do we need to give it reference?
Yes, it is essential. Even you are reading it, you have concept, taken the ideas, concept, etc. You have to give it in the reference or bibliography. And regarding the percentage of reference, there is no fixed percentage for this, that how much, how will be the percentage of reference in your paper, because from where you will calculate the percentage. What is the end point for the percentage? So there is no such type of things. It depends on how many papers you might have seen that some papers are having even 100 references. Some papers are having only 2 or 3 references. It depends. So it depends upon the area of work, the area of topic you have chosen. In some paper, there may not be any reference. I have told you that if it is a primary information, if the new invention you have done it, or new thought and concept you have brought it, then where you will get the reference? There will be no reference in that for that purpose. Okay, so there may not be any reference for that also. But if it is common area has been taken, and certainly there will be references. In that case, at least there is no written hard and fast rule, but at least 15-20 reference must be given. But I feel this is my personal view. Okay.
Sir, another question from Asraful Islam, sir. What is the best plagiarism checker software for an individual research scholar? Can that be privately purchased or owned by a person? If yes, is there any risk to share information on any risk?
See, this is one of the important areas by this commonly asked this type of things. So when you are a research scholar, that means you are registered with any of the universities of the country. Maybe Guwahati University, maybe Delhi University, maybe Delhi, maybe JNU, any university of the country. So being a research scholar, all the supervisors have been given the login password by the university, concerned universities. Okay, all the supervisors are having. If any of the supervisor who is attending this program and he or she is having not having this login password, and you are I'm from Guwahati University, so if you are a registered supervisor of Guwahati University, write to me. At present, I am the library in charge of Guwahati University as well. So I will communicate to the person who is looking after this, and they will send you the login password to you. And when this Urkund was started, during that time, all the supervisors were given this login and password. They have been provided the login password by the University Academic Library of Guwahati University many years back. But by any means that might have overlooked by you, or you might not have received, or sometimes email are changed, that will be the reason. So all the supervisor is having their own login password. If you are not having, you can consult your respective universities libraries, they will provide you, and you check your this scholars paper, that is the authentic one. If it is Guwahati University, University, or under university, that is Urkund software is there. If it is private universities or other universities, there may be Turnitin, there may be Authenticate or any of the journal. And regarding the authentic, the first question the person has asked, so there are hundreds of anti-plagiarism software available in the web, but all are not authentic. Just simple example I would like to cite here is that if you are having a virus in your computer and you are having commercial antivirus software, you are having free antivirus software. The free antivirus software does not clean everything from your computer, but if it is commercial one, it cleans everything from your computer. So like that. So free anti-plagiarism software will not give you authentic information, all information. Yes, you can check it, some information you will get, something is better than nothing in that case, but ultimately you have to check in the authorized anti-plagiarism software like the Turnitin, Authenticate, this Urkund, or nowadays some more new softwares are coming. You can check it in the Google platform that what are the other commercial softwares. So you can take any help, but best is Turnitin. If you are checking anything that Turnitin at present, and you cannot purchase. You have also asked about the purchase, whether you can procure or not, purchase or not. It is very difficult. If you are having lots of money, then you can purchase it. Otherwise, it is very costly. 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs rupees you have to pay for that. It is not possible. Turnitin, if you want to purchase the complete edition, many lakhs rupees you have to pay. If you want to purchase the limited edition, then again limited service will be there. One thing is very nowadays important is that even the freely anti-plagiarism softwares are there. They are in that they check the grammar also. Grammar part is also checked, etc. So that is important. And otherwise, the open access softwares we are having that Mendeley and Zotero are there. You can, if you note down it, Zotero, Zotero, and Mendeley, Mendeley, Mendeley. So you can go to this Mendeley software and Zotero software, and you can download it, and it is, you can self-learn or take the training, etc. And you start using for your research purpose, etc. Then that problem will not be there. Okay. So to some extent, your problem of this plagiarism, etc., can be solved. Okay.
Thank you, sir. And last direct question we will take from Dr. Riazul Haq, sir. Sir, please ask your question directly.
Hello.
Dr. Riazul Haq, sir. If you have any questions, I have already unmuted you.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Hello.
yes.
I'm Dr. Riazul Haq from Rupai College.
Yeah.
Sir, thank you very much for your informative and insightful presentation. I have 2 or 3 queries. My first query is that what will happen to the status of the published papers or articles when the journals are removed from the UGC listed or UGC criteria?
Okay. Any more? No.
And second question is that, sir, there are so many journals, for example, peer-reviewed journal, UGC listed journals, FOPA journal. So what are the actual criteria for acceptability for the purpose of selection and promotion of teachers? And third query, this question pertains to both our principal, Dr. D.N. Patnaik, sir, and as well as Dr. Sundar Kumar Singh, sir. Sir, there are so many young and aspiring researchers in our college. They are very much keen to publish their papers, but so far the standard journals are concerned, sometimes they ask for the plagiarism check certificate. So our college does not possess any anti-plagiarism check software. So I'd like to ask I'd like to request both of you to do something. Can we have a joint collaboration so that we have our paper checked and given certificate so that we can publish our papers in Scopus or listed journal?
Okay,
sir. Thank you, sir. We got the question.
Okay, okay. So last question, as you have asked about the anti-plagiarism software from the college, etc. So see here, this anti-plagiarism software is given to us, that is Guwahati University, by the Implement Center. And Implement Center is an IUC of UGC. So UGC, on behalf of UGC, Implement is doing this work for the development of higher education in Northeastern region. So under that scheme, we have been given free of cost under that. Okay. Number 2 is that as a few minutes back, I have already told you, all the supervisors have been given the login and password of the Urkund software. And still, if anybody is not having the recognized supervisor or guide of Guwahati University, they can write to the library, KK Hendrik Library, Guwahati University, and email ID is library@guwahati.ac.in. You can write to the librarian, and email address is library, library, library@guwahati.ac.in. And you ask that you are a bona fide supervisor, and you upload or attach your this supervisor recognition letter from the Guwahati University, from the academic registrar office. You have received it. So what we will do, we will just send you the login password to the supervisor. Okay. and it is not given to the colleges by the UGC. If college wants, then college has to purchase it. Okay, and it is very costly affair, and no need to purchase, I think, because you do not require it every day. Every now and then you may not be requiring. Sometimes when papers are coming or this, so for few papers you do not worry if any supervisor is there. Certainly some supervisor may be from your college, so you can use his or her login and password, and that can be done through the IQAC, etc. IQAC take the responsibility, and that can be done it. Or even if you have some problem, you can send the paper to me, to my email ID, and certainly I can help you. I will check it and send it back to you. And I'm doing this thing for the many colleges of the state of Assam for the last many years. I am helping even the individual people, individual teachers or individual scholars as well from my side. I am checking it and sending it back to the concerned person. So that is the answer for the question number 3. And what was question 1?
So regarding the criteria, how to identify a journal, that how to publish, what are the different criteria we should approach for,
okay. Already I have told you in my presentation that you have to know, you have to check the authenticity of their journal. Yes, I think you have asked that UGC care list, it is published, and it is now withdrawn, isn't it? I think that was one of the question. So when it was published, and during that time, if it was under the UGC list, so that point will be calculated, because after that it has been withdrawn. So after that, if anybody has published any of the paper, suppose it is withdrawn in 2018, 19, suppose it has been withdrawn in 2019. So prior to 2019, it was in the UGC list. Okay, so when it was in the UGC list and your paper is there, so that paper will be considered and you will get the point. But that paper, that journal is still being published. But after 2019, your paper is published, then that point will not be calculated. You will not get any point for that, because that journal is not now the part of the UGC care list. So during that period, when it was a part of the UGC list, your point will be calculated for your personal promotion. Okay. And regarding the authenticity, as I told you, that you go to the UGC list, go to your subject, and you download the list of the paper, list of the journal of your subject, and then you find that these are the list of the journal, and you choose any of the journal according to your choice, and go to that website of that journal, see the terms and condition, rules and regulation, how to publish it, because each and every journal have their own terms and condition and how to publish it, and you follow all the instructions laid down in that journal, and then write paper, send the paper to that, and follow the instructions given by that publishing house, and certainly will do it. If you are talking about same thing related to Scopus index, you go to the Scopus list, index list, and you download the list of journals, and you choose the paper and go to the how to publish the journal, individual journal, and submit the paper, and your problem will be solved. Anything else? I think,
sir, there were lots of questions, but we have paucity of time. It is almost 2 hours. But Professor Sanjay Kumar Singh sir is always available. He's very kind and very simple person. So whenever you approach him, definitely he will give the answers, because we cannot give the answers within this 2 hours platform. This is very important topic and very interesting also. And many participants want to know many things about on this topic. This is a vast area of research, actually, we should say. But again and again, sir, thank you very much. And we are closing this question seasons right now. And we hope we have answers most of the questions. And if you have any more questions, you can directly contact with Professor Sanjay Kumar Singh sir. So thank you very much. Now we are coming to the end of this program. I'd like to go to Dr. Abdul Jalil, the librarian of Rupohi College, for offering the water. Thank you. Sir, please.
Yes, thank you, Virender. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Respected Principal Sir, Koliabur College, Dr. Soliha Sir, respected Principal Sir, Rupohi College, Dr. Patnaik Sir, today's resource person as well as my guide, Professor Sanjay Singh Sir, Head of the Department of Library and Information Science, Guwahati University, and in charge of the KK Hendrik Library, Guwahati University, and my dear participants who have joined in this seminar from across the country, and my dear brother, Dr. Virender Pal. It is an honor to have been asked to offer a vote of thanks in this webinar. On behalf of Rupohi College Central Library and Koliabur College Central Library, I offer my sincere gratitude to both the Principal Sir for allowing us to organize this webinar. My hearty gratitude to Professor Sanjay Singh Sir for delivering valuable and informative speech, which will help us in publishing our research paper and doing researches. And also I am thankful to you, sir, for giving us a few moments from your busy schedule. I offer my heartfelt thanks to participants. Without your participation, it is not possible to organize this type of events. Last but not least, I am thankful to Dr. Birender Park for smooth conducting of this webinar. Nobody wants to listen a long lecture at last, so I conclude my vote of thanks with these few words. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Jalil sir. You are also part of it, and really it's a great moment and it's a great leadership under the two principals sir, of Kolyabar College and Rupai College that this program could have been successful today. And we will definitely work in future also with lots of collaboration. Thank you very much.
Definitely.
Yes, thank you. So before winding up, again, I would like to repeat one announcement for the participants that we have already shared the feedback form in the Zoom chat box. Please fill up your feedback form. And with this, we're coming to the end. Before winding up, again, I request you please switch on your video. Video to on kori. We will take a group photo together and then we will end up the program. Please come closer to the screen and switch on your video. Just give me 5 seconds. So really, thank you very much. Until then, stay safe, stay secure, have a nice time ahead. And as a technical host, I declare today's program assigned. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, everybody.